Hey guys, it's Coach Keem. I wanted to do this video on how to remove bankruptcies, inquiries, closed and charge off accounts from your credit report. I'm going to upload a few dispute letters to the Facebook group as well. So if you're watching this in the group or on YouTube and you're not a part of my Facebook group, reach out to me. I'll send you an invite, join the Facebook group. You'll be able to find some dispute letters on bankruptcies, inquiries, closed and charge off accounts. I'm going to upload some of them, right? So I just wanted to start out some of the things that I'm going to highlight. It's going to be about, the first thing is bankruptcy and LexisNexis, LCI, SageStream, Pacer system, and how to get those removed. Inquiries, LexisNexis, the Oscar system, and how to remove those from your credit report, closed and charge off accounts, and the check system, and how to dispute and remove that type of information as well. So bear with me. I'm actually dealing with clients right now. Somebody's trying to pull his credit report. But that's the first thing that you want to do. The first thing you want to do is you want to pull your 3 bureau credit reports. You want to get a tri-merged credit report. A lot of people, they have the free ones, but a lot of them are not tri-merged. The tri-merged reports give you TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Whichever account it is, it'll have each line listed item by item, and you can compare and factually dispute that way. So Smart Credit, Identity IQ, PrivacyGuard.com, those are really good places. I'm working on a partnership with them so I can get you guys your credit reports for free. That'll be at a later date. I have to look into that. But so bankruptcies, right? There's two types of bankruptcies. You have Chapter 7 and you have Chapter 13, right? Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years. This is about, that's when they liquidate your assets and sell them to your creditor. Chapter 13, it stays on your credit report for up to 7 years. And it's where you do like a repayment plan, right? And bankruptcy is just the legal process that you go through. Where if you can't pay your debt to your creditors, they may seek some form of relief. And in most jurisdictions, bankruptcy is imposed by a court order, and it's often initiated by the debtor and not the creditor. So disputing bankruptcies. So a lot of people don't know that a lot of your public information, like judgments and stuff that come out of the court systems, they're kept in what's called the Pacer system, which is the public access to court electronic records. This is where LexisNexis, LCI, and SageStream get their information from. So LexisNexis, LCI, and SageStream, they're third-party companies that collect this public information, store it, and basically sell it to these other companies, or excuse me, to the credit bureaus, right? And this is where they're able to verify your information, right? So with bankruptcies, right, you want to make sure that a bankruptcy is not past the statute of limitations, which would be 7 to 10 years, depending on if it's a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. If so, just dispute it on that ground alone and it should come off. But if it's not, right, you want to just, you want to find some other reason to dispute it. So you want to just make sure that there's no inconsistent reporting dates or other derogatory information reflecting on the account. If so, just dispute that. So when you pull your credit report, you'll see the bankruptcy listed, whether it's a Chapter 7 or 13, and they'll have line item information. You're looking at that information across the 3 bureaus, and whether any of the information is incorrect, inaccurate, erroneous, obsolete, etc. And then you just factually dispute it based on that, and you can have this information removed or updated, which will change the algorithm and boost your score, right? You also want to do a security freeze with LexisNexis, LCI, or SageStream, wherever the accounts are, the credit bureaus are getting or verifying the information on that account. You want to freeze it with that third party company, and then because like I said, this is where they verify the information. Because when you go to dispute it now, once it's frozen, they won't be able to verify it. And you can do this. This is legal because security freezes are for people that suffer from things like identity theft. Say you had an unauthorized somebody ran your credit and you didn't authorize it. You can do these things. Sometimes some people use it for other purposes where they'll freeze the information so creditors or maybe somebody else that may be running their credit, they won't have access to that information for privacy purposes. So it's a tool that you can use. Give me a second, guys. Kind of rude of me. I'm sorry, but business calls. So it's a system that you can use to your advantage because the credit bureaus are using the algorithm to their advantage based on your ignorance, and you have to you have to do certain things to I'm not advocating. Remember, this is for educational purposes only. I'm not advocating anybody go freeze their accounts here and claim that some fraudulent activity happened and it didn't happen, right? We don't want to do that because then you have to produce documents like, say, a police report, right? And then now you don't have a police report. So all right, so if verified through the courts, right? So if you do send a verification letter out to the credit bureaus and you ask them, how did you verify this? And they say, well, through the courts, right? So now you reach out to the court and ask the court, how did they verify it, right? And if the court said, if verified through the courts, send letter to court or judgment seeking a method of verification, right? This is another type of letter that you can use, a method of verification letter. I will upload that as well. It says, ask if they furnish personal information to third parties, which they don't. They're going to tell you they don't because they can't do that. Get it in writing and attach with dispute letter to the credit bureaus. So they're going to tell you they don't. So that answer would tell the credit bureaus, listen, they don't do that. So wherever you got this information from, it's invalid, right? They will have to remove it. So that's bankruptcy. That's pretty much how you would dispute a bankruptcy if it's not past the statute of limitations, right? Hard inquiries, guys. Stop applying for too much credit. Too much credit will hurt your credit score. Too many inquiries, too many hard inquiries. 1 to 3, 2 to 3 hard inquiries within, like a 12 to 18 month period is not bad. But when you have excessive amounts of inquiries, it's going to tank your credit score up to 50 points, right? So, like I said, they stay on your credit report for up to 2 years, and they account for about 10% of your overall credit score, which makes up about 50 points. The algorithm, the scoring model for FICO is 300 to 850, so that's 550 points to play with. 10% is based on your mix or new credit or inquiries, right? 10% of 550 is about 50 points. So, you guys have to be careful with that, right? And these inquiries generally occur when financial institutions such as a lender or a credit card issuer, they just check your credit when making the decision to lend to you. And they commonly take place when you apply for like a mortgage, a credit card, a car. The car is really, car loans really hurt people because, they're trying to get you approved. So they're going to they're going to try to get you approved in multiple places. And that's why you get so many inquiries when you go for a car. You're like, I have 10 inquiries. How did I get 10 inquiries? So how to dispute these, right? Inquiries are reported through what's called the Oscar system. This is the online system for clerkship, application, and review. And this is where LexisNexis and SageStream retrieve their information on inquiries. So one thing that you can do just to start out is just contact the original lender, right? Contact the original person that, did the inquiries and let them know, like, just be honest. At that point in time, I was looking for some credit. I suffered a financial hardship. COVID-19, etc. Use these like kind of keywords, and just be like, I didn't know that my credit was gonna be ran, or I was gonna get denied, and I was unaware it was gonna affect my credit score like this or my credit report. I'm back on I'm trying to do this or do that. Can you please have these removed? That's the first thing you probably want to do. Just reach out to them, see if they can do that, and just be polite as possible. If you don't get somebody that's cooperative the first time, call back. You have to be persistent with this process sometimes. Sometimes everything doesn't just happen in one step, and you don't want to be antagonistic. You want to be as warm-hearted as possible about it, right? Because you took out the loan, you asked for the money, you weren't able to pay based on whatever the circumstances were, and they're gonna give you a courtesy by waiving it or whatever they're gonna do for you, right? If not, the second thing that you want to do is you want to place a security freeze on your LexisNexis or SageStream and dispute the accounts with the bureaus asking them to verify it. They're not going to be able to verify because it'll be frozen. And that's just, like I said, that's just one of the tactics that you can use, and it typically works for most people. There's nothing wrong with security freezing your accounts, right? So if you did not authorize the lender, right, to run your credit, or you were the victim of identity theft, just provide proof of that and attach to your dispute letters, and that's how you can get those removed very easily. That's the that's probably the biggest way that a lot of people get inquiries removed, if they are a victim of identity theft, or if their credit, somebody, a lender ran their credit without their authorization. But you can freeze your accounts, your Sage Stream, LexisNexis, and dispute that way, or you just call and ask, right, in an intelligent tone. So for closed accounts and charged off accounts, these accounts are used by banks to report your banking information, whether you had like you had insufficient funds, any overdrafts, accounts was closed because you just didn't use them, or stuff like that. All this information is housed in what's called check systems. That's CHEX systems, check systems, and it's just a nationwide specialty consumer reporting agency under the Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act, and it provides information about the use of deposit accounts by consumers. So how to dispute your check systems accounts. So just like a consumer credit report, you could dispute your check systems profile for any inaccurately reporting information and have it removed. The bureaus use this information to verify many closed and charge-off accounts. So sometimes it's best to go in and clean up your check systems accounts before you start disputing any closed, charge-off accounts, etc., stuff like that, with different banks, credit card providers, etc. You can also do a security freeze with them. You have the right to place a security freeze on your consumer report. And what you want to check for is just things like you would check for in your, if you were disputing your credit report, things like, your date of birth, your social security number, your address, and you want to factual dispute your check system looking for errors, just like you would, your consumer credit report, and just improve your overall profile. With closed and charge-off accounts, you just want to dispute, you want to factual dispute these accounts. And when you do dispute these accounts, or if you have someone else dispute it for you, you have someone working on your credit report for you, and they are removed, pay the account off, right? Reach out to the creditor, whoever lent you the money, and pay it off. This stops it from popping back up. A lot of times, closed accounts, charge-off accounts, they end up popping back up because, you could get the account removed based on a factual error in the reporting, but you definitely want to settle the account, because what's the point of removing it if 3 months down the line it's going to pop back up on your credit report, right? And the checks systems, you can reach out to them through mail. It's Check Systems Incorporated, and you want to address it to attention complaints 7805 Hudson Road, Suite 100, Woodbury, Minnesota 55125. So just in summary, guys, the first thing you want to do is pull your reports from all three bureaus, review it for any information that may be reporting inaccurately. That's the first thing you want to do. It's the first step in repairing your credit. Then you want to apply for new credit. You don't want to apply for new credit during the dispute process. Creditors don't like to see a bunch of accounts in dispute anyway, and it just makes you look desperate. You already know you're going to get denied because your credit score is not strong enough. Once you dispute the information on your credit report, get it removed, updated, and changed as the algorithm improves your score, now you're more credit worthy, and you're more likely to get approved, less likely to get denied, and your interest rate is going to be a lot lower. So don't apply for new credit before you work on your credit report, and while you're working on your credit report during the process. The other thing you don't want to do is apply for a new credit, which I just kind of said, and then you don't want to reach out to the credit bureaus during the dispute process. Is going to give them 15 extra days to dispute or do their investigation, and you don't want them to have 15 extra days because you're trying to qualify for new credit, right? Verify which method the negative accounts were reported. So LexisNexis, LCI, Sage Stream, the Oscar and Pacer system, etc. You want to see where the information is getting gathered from, because that way you can do the third step, which is place the security freeze on these accounts and dispute them based on verification of the accounts with the bureaus, and make sure to lift the security freeze when done. And that's another key thing, is when you have the security freeze on your accounts, you're not going to be able to apply for any new credit, because your creditors are not going to be able to go into the system where they're able to verify your information, because the security freeze is on. Because you got to understand, it's like, say somebody stole your identity, stole your credit cards, and they was about to go use them, and you place a security freeze on it. You wouldn't want them to be able to go and still utilize the cards and end up charging your credit, doing a whole bunch of other wild stuff, right? So that's what the security freeze does. It allows you the ability to investigate during that time, and then, but you can't apply for any new credit. And once, we're done with the process, the information is removed from your credit report, we want to lift the security freeze, because now we can apply for the new credit. Your credit score is strong enough, and you're good to go. So that was how to remove bankruptcies, inquiries, and close the charge-off accounts from your credit report. Guys, I hope the information helped you. If you need any further assistance, please reach out to me. My number is 203-675-8187. You can find me on Facebook. You can drop a message in the comments. My website is up. There are many ways to reach out to me. If you need dispute letters, I'm going to be uploading those to my Facebook group. If you're not a part of my Facebook group, please reach out to me and I will add you ASAP. Let's get your credit scores up. Let's, improve your finances so that we can live the life that, we deserve and that our families deserve, right? This is what it's really about. It's about financial education, financial freedom, etc. All right, guys, it's Coach Keem, the Credit Chic. I'm out. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Peace.